energies coming in. Avalon energies have to do with the Order of the Rose as well, Magdalens. Water's been coming in. Water, magic, Merlin, swords, the staff, the scepter. Why that comes in, we are that sword, the cross, the scepter, the wand. We are that. Think about all those symbols. The cross isn't a symbol of, it's been made a symbol of death, but really it's a sign of death and resurrection, of renewal, of a new way. And that's what's been coming in this month of May, is renewing, leaving behind the old. And we say this a lot, leave the old behind. It doesn't, leave what doesn't serve you behind. But the crazy energies that are happening this month are feeling very topsy-turvy and uncomfortable, frankly. So what's coming in is the energies are coming in to take that heart space and expand it well beyond the space that it normally occupies to fill the whole physical body. That energy, that whole heart, filling the whole physical body. And it's going to happen for people on different levels, in different ways, but that's what's been coming in. In the previous live, part 1, we talked a lot about Avalon, Glastonbury, water, all these energies. So if this makes sense to you, if any of this stuff resonates, if you've been called to England, there are many people that do retreats and they go to England and they bring people to these sacred waters, the sacred well, the balance of the feminine and masculine. I chose a card right now to see what it is that the collective right now, here on the live or on the replay, what is needed to know. And it's this goddess of light here. This goddess of light, channeling universal love, awakening others to become compassionate and to be of service to all. Balance and giving and receiving of energy. Balance and receiving of giving of energy. I have a question about that. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a little quiet, if you will. Take a moment and breathe with me. Hopefully this live stays live. And I'm going to ask a question because this came up yesterday. I was on my follow my soul kind of day where I just allowed my inner self to lead the way. Now my human self had like an end point, like, oh, I want to go to this coffee shop or find a coffee shop that's open till like late at night. So I had a desire. And the reason I'm telling you this is because we work with our clairsenses here. We work with how we want to embody our creations, like how we want to live life, right? Is life lived by us, or is life just kind of like, are we just kind of the puppet going around to where we want to go, right? In this way, when you connect to that inner being, that inner self of yours, and you allow it to go, it will take your desire and it will soup it up. It will amp it up. It's going to trick it out with all the things that, all the bells and whistles. And I went to this location and went on this great journey ended up at a farmer's market where there was live music, and then there was really good food, and then people gave me free dessert, like way more dessert than I could eat, frankly. And all of this was on my way to this one coffee shop. I met these different people and I spoke to them, and there were all these energetic exchanges through music and through food. And then as I thought I was getting to that coffee shop, there were 2 people going into a building where it looked like everyone was lying on the floor. And I asked them if it was yoga, and they're like, no, it's not yoga. It's dance. And they started to walk away, and I was like, whoa, is it ecstatic dance? And they were like, yeah, actually. And I'm like, and I'm coming in. Thank you. I joined them as I walked in. And then as I walked in, they said I would be able to get in free. The girl gave me her freebie ticket. so that I could actually join them. So there were all these synchronicities happening. And one of the early ones was I was walking down this street in Boulder, and I've walked many streets of Boulder, but I think we tend to stick to the ones we really love, and then we do that over and over again. And here I was in Boulder after all these years, and I found a compass on the street, painted on the street, a huge compass at this intersection, um, saying that it was the center of Boulder itself. And there was a rose painted in the center, and then um, there were dragonflies, like where the directions were north, east, west, south. This was also painted dragons for the actual points of the directions, and then mariposas. I love to say butterflies in Spanish. Were at the corners, like the northeast, southwest, all those types of corners. Hey Alma, how you doing? And so I found this compass first. That was the start of my journey, the synchronicities. Found this beautiful compass, was just taking a walk, and then I was led to another place. There was a small crystal shop, and I tend not to always go in these anymore because I'm like, I don't need crystals. I have so many, and I have so many rocks that I collect, that I like to make into pendants for people, and I go that to like all the sacred places I go to, I collect them, right? And so we were talking about exchange of energy. And that's what this card, it's kind of like look how big this deck is. It's huge. It's a huge deck. It's like a mini book. And that's where this kind of came up, the balance and giving of receiving energy. That we tap into this God, Goddess self. And in this depiction of art, this being right here is radiating this orb of light through their crown. And then the fairy realm, the elemental realm, ooh, it's very shiny, isn't it? The elemental realm is, let me fix that for a second. I'm going to turn the light off for a minute, I think. There we go. So the elemental realm, about this whole, I don't know how you guys feel about it. Maybe you guys can tell me. In the spirit, there is a thought of there must be an energetic exchange. The way I've always seen it and felt it is that always happened very naturally. When someone ended up helping me, or I ended up helping them, I didn't expect to get anything back. I don't think they expected to get anything back, but there was a natural kind of flow to things. Like someone allowed me to stay on their property, and basically like they just had space for my 26-foot Jayco. So they allowed me to stay on their property, and they're like, yeah, if you need to use facilities, you can totally like use laundry, you can shower if you need to, just go ahead, leave doors open, it's all good. And I was like, wow, that's really great, thank you so much. And I think they've been in that position before, like they've traveled too, so they know how it is when you travel around. And you don't always have like the amenities that you want to have, so it just varies where you're at. But I automatically ask myself, after all these acts of kindness, is there anything that I can offer this person as well? And I kind of feel into what's needed. Sometimes I ask, but oftentimes I kind of get a sense for what is needed in this particular moment for this person. And in that respect, it was to take care of their dog. It was to take their dog, and actually the dog needed me to take care of the dog because the person was so busy in what they do that this dog was not getting the attention and the exercise needed, even though big farm, right? So for me, the whole act of the energy exchange happens very naturally. It happens very organically, people like to say, right? I love that word. It happens very organically. When you go to some of these spiritual communities, some people are very like there must be an energetic exchange, like right off the bat. Like, what's the exchange? And it's been like that for me when trading services. Like, I have a background in hair and waxing. And so at this time, I offer conscious cuts in the locations that I am. They're silent haircuts. Way back when I was just doing regular hair, I would exchange and trade services. And at one point, if I had a person who worked at a grocery store and a gas station, I would have been set. I wouldn't have had to pay for anything. um, in those types of circumstances, I've totally like been able to. We just come up with that. Oh, you do massage? Great. Okay. Yeah. You want your hair done? Like, yeah, sorry about the connection. Let's take a breath and ask the question that I'm curious about, giving and receiving of energy. How this works usually is I breathe with you. As we are breathing together, we're creating a cohesive field of energy. And then a message comes through for those who are viewing this video. All right. So we're going to take a deep breath in, and then we're going to pause at the top for 4 seconds. And then we're going to release the air completely out, pushing our belly button to the back of the spine and letting out all that air, and then pausing at the bottom of that out breath. It's going to be uniquely challenging, but I know you can do it. And then we'll take the in breath, and we'll do that 3 times. Okay? So breathe in, pause, and then release. All the air flowing out of your body, pausing at the bottom. Breathe in,